Greetings, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello. I should explain right from the beginning that I switched my screens and it's got me a little freaked out. So I'm used to playing with the game screen right here and the OBS here. And for some reason today I thought, let me see what it's like not to do that this morning on Twitch, only to find out that I've been playing that way for so long that it's affected my brain. It actually has. So this is going to be kind of curious. I'm going to change my view. Hello. I am Monster to Mermaid. This is Minecraft with the Minecolonies mod. And this is the Druid Sanctuary City of Arnaaluk. And I am standing in the town hall. This is a level 5 underwater base town hall. If you have not been here before, this is the center of the towns. And today I'm just going to go over and look here, and we'll just look at the book. And this is the town hall book. There are some things that I want to try. I want to try the map. I've never made a map in Minecraft in all this time. I've never made a map. So I want to see how that works. I might have to know how to make a map in Minecraft in order to work with that. We can look here and see what everyone is working on. And by everyone, we mean the builders. It usually tells you what the builders are doing. So I have 8 builders, and they are all working on projects right now. We can see every single one of their projects right here. And then here on the left, we can see people who are visiting. And it's really interesting. I've been looking for Dagworth, who is the father of one of our children, who's grown up now, and the partner of one of our druids. And we haven't found him yet. And I haven't actually thought about coming to the book and looking. I've just been going through the people in the tavern. But if I came here every once in a while, I would see the names of all the people who are here and who are visiting. They sign in at the town hall. This is permissions that has to do with other people playing, players like me playing. This is our people list, and pay no attention to those reds. Actually, those reds are interesting. It says the overall happiness is 10. These reds mean I haven't had that many injuries. I haven't had that many deaths. And the guards in the colony are very, very low because we do not have any knights and we do not have any archers. We have trainers who have the archer. Well, I guess we do have archers because the fitness trainers are technically archers, and we have 3 so far. We're going to have 6, so 2 for every 24, 2 for every 8 hour, 3 8 is 24, yeah, 2 for every 8 hour period to keep the fitness center open 24 hours a day. So that's how we're going to have it. And we have 2 so that there is no one's by themselves in the situation. We don't have any kids in school right now. We don't have any kids. All our kids grew up that we had last week. And we have kids, we have Planned Parenthood here, and the children arrive when the community is ready for them. And so, but we have other things that are making our people exceedingly happy. Apparently, we've figured out the food. We have a full mystical site, and nobody's unemployed. So, and the housing is good. Look at the housing. It's a big smiley face. And so these are the names. So if I'm looking for a name of a person, I can look through here if I want to find one individually. And that is people. And then the statistics tells us actually how many people we have. We have 122 of 150. The next upgrade of research would allow us to have, I think, 250. I've never had that. Have I had over 150? I think I've actually had close to 170. But yeah, it takes a while, and you have to have groupings, I feel, unless you have armies. If you have armies, then you have no problem getting that kind of people, because if we look here and see archers, we're allowed to have 5, and we have, I thought we could have 6. Shoot, that's unfortunate. So we're allowed to have 5, and we have 3, but we're going to have the full 5. So that means that, oh, I'm disappointed. There are extra beds in there, but maybe they've taken them away. Oh, that's okay. We'll work something out to make sure about how I want to do that. I might assign a druid to the archery to help and see how that works out. In the meantime, we have 4 bakeries, but we only have 3 bakers so far. We have 8 builders, but we have 9 builder shops. We are not going to have another builder. We're actually going to have someone use that shop if they need to, as soon as it's a level 5. We have 2 carpenters. Now that's something we might want an extra one of, but I'm not sure where I would put them, and I don't know that we necessarily do need. Chefs, that's the cookeries, and we now have 2. We have 2 chicken herders. We only have 1 composter, and we only need 1. Composting center in the city. We're actually doing fine in that. Concrete mixers, we have 3. The entire city is made out of concrete. Bless you. And so we actually need the 3rd concrete mixer, who's brand new. We have 9 restaurants, which is the reason we have 2 cookeries, because we have 9 restaurants. We have 4 dairy farmers who also harvest meat if we need. The crusher and the sifter we only have 1 of. We have 3 doctors. We have 3 hospitals. Actually, we have 2 hospitals and a clinic. And then we have druids. You can see that we're supposed to have 38. So that would definitely bring us over 50, 150. That would bring us up to 160. So that's how it would be done. And knights, we have enough to have 25. We're just not going to have them. So that is where the amount of people comes from that a lot of people have in their cities. We don't have that kind of thing. We do try and have 2 of almost everything. We happen to have 4 planters because sugar, first of all, but chocolate, cocoa beans, and sugar. That's primarily why. And we have no pupils now, but we do have 2 schools. And one of them is a dedicated school to the children, and the other one is a lecture hall in the university. And we would never have that many kids at one time. It's just unmanageable. You can't find their parents in time. You can't get them fostered in time before they grow up. So it doesn't pay to have more. For me, I can only do 6 at a time, and that's what we do. The rabbit herder is for the druids. Rabbit herder is actually for the druids to have. Did I see everything? Those are statistics. Alliances, that has to do with something eventually, if you were on a server, eventually that would be of some wonder. And this is why we're not having children left to right. We have it turned off. We have auto worker hiring turned off. Everyone picks their job. And citizen housing, we try and accommodate people where they live and who they want to live with. And that's it. And we have construction tape turned off because Aquatica has a lot of buildings within buildings. And so the building within a building then puts construction tape all over the place. And that's not a problem if you, I like construction tape sometimes to show me how things, where things are. But after all this time with Minecolonies, I've gotten kind of used to not having that. So let me come here and see why I can't click on that. I was nowhere near. And so all that information about the town is stored in the town hall. And the only thing that's not stored there is actually the names of people who have passed away. And that is stored at a graveyard. And the graveyard that we have, it has been tradition. The graveyard always goes up too late in the beginning. Because it's complex a lot of times, the graveyard, and because it requires research in the university, those things keep you from having a graveyard in the beginning. So the three people who have actually lost their life here.
What can I do for you?
What are you doing? They actually, let me cancel. I'm canceling so that he can ask for it in this game, in this time, because I got out of the game and I just want to make sure that the couriers know. But this is the graveyard, and it is a pyramid, and Lionel is restoring this pyramid. When this pyramid is done, it is pretty much going to look like an underwater pyramid, like the one over there. So we're in a position here in the frozen seas where we have an abandoned mermaid fortress, and we're going to have two of them. That's going to make it seem like Egypt. But the mermaid nation of Tana, from whom my story says that I am an ambassador from, has given permission for the restoration of this pyramid on this site, and for it to be used as a graveyard. So everyone is working on that. Now you see a lot of prismarine. If you were playing in survival, and if you did not have an ambassador like these people do from the mermaid nation of Tana, this is probably the equivalent of 2 fortresses worth of actual prismarine that we're using throughout the city. So that's something to keep in mind. Aquatica and Underwater Base use some. Underwater Base uses a little bit more prismarine for builds, and I love it. So because I am from there, we have gifted the prismarine to them, and then when they are a prosperous city, which they are almost right now, then they begin to return materials to Tana, to the Mermaid Nation, which the Mermaid Nation uses to start other cities. This is the warehouse first floor right here with one of the submarines in. Now this submarine is a mid-sized submarine. This is a delivery submarine, but it's a longer distance delivery submarine. This submarine does not deliver in the city. We have little tiny scrubs that deliver in the city, and those scrubs belong to the logistics center, and we have them over here. Now we have more scrubs than will fit in this piece right here. So this bay can only hold 2 of them at a time. So the other scrubs, there's a 3rd one sitting there. There's a 4th one right over there. There's a 5th one at a fishery, and we should end up looking at that platform right there and the platform at the fishery. We should end up with 8 altogether. So that is something that we will have. It is nighttime. It's actually 8 o'clock at night their time, and so that's why you don't see people walking around and stuff. It's actually late. It's actually evening, and most people go home. Hi. And most people go home in the evenings. We do have some explorers, and we do have, while I'm talking for a minute, why don't we fix this, because I haven't had the opportunity to for a while. We're going to stop this from leaking for a sec. So I'm going to come over here and just add an extra layer on these parts so that it doesn't leak. And what we want is to ultimately have enough scrubs to make it seem like the deliveries are not being delivered on foot, that the deliveries are being delivered by the couriers in submarines. Oops, that's why I can't get by. And so that is kind of the illusion that we want to make. Certainly we want the illusion that the concrete that is being used all over the city is actually being delivered by the two concrete submarines that we have. This is leaking because let me go upstairs for a second. Let me go out and look at yay, all the colonists are tucked in. Let me see something here. This is a housing dome, but these 2 domes right here are domes for the, and I'm trying to figure out why there's so much water coming in some of these places. This water is actually too high, and it should fill in to the water line for this area. And there it is, it did. Okay, so this is a little bit where the water is, but there shouldn't be any water on these areas here, but no, that's where it is. Okay, so seeing that the water is where it's supposed to be, we're just going to go ahead and fix that so that it doesn't leak. Now eventually we're going to put a dome on the top. I believe we can have a dome on top of this. Let's see if there is an optional dome piece. Oh, I don't know. It wouldn't be here. It would be upstairs. Yeah. So why is it leaking down there? I don't understand why it's leaking down there. Because look, this is above. And we worked on this area. We changed it a tiny bit from Aquatica's original. As you can see, there's a lot of modded stuff here. And this is all, except for the chairs. Those are Mubian's chairs, and I like them, so they're still here. The screens are from Underwater Base, and the tables are probably a combination of different mods. The stools are definitely Mr. Macaw's or Mr. Crayfish. Mr. Crayfish, Macaw's, and Paladin Furniture being used. The flower pots are from Dawn of Time, so there's a bunch of different modded stuff going on. This is the Couriers up here. So, and they have a little kitchen area here. We probably were doing this at the end of the day and didn't really put in like a chair or something, but both sides have a kitchen, and there it is. There is the dome upgrade that we can put on top, and we more than likely will, so that the people actually have, the builders have something to do, actually. And the domes look really cool. I don't think, yeah, none of these. This is the warehouse, and it can have a dome as well. And I think it would be interesting having the domes, especially because the domes are above the water line, so they would actually be seeing the sky. And for the fact that this is a druid sanctuary city, the fact that they are separated from their precious forests, that is something that we would like to help make the city feel comfortable to them. So today on Twitch, that is what we were doing. This is the Oaks apartment building reception concierge. We're going to start calling it the concierge for this apartment building, the Oaks Apartments, right here. And we have many apartment buildings that are beginning to have their reception concierge areas finished. This is the mahogany right here, and I'm just going to go down to its concierge for a second, and we'll look at it for just a moment. And so this is the mahogany apartments right here. And then let me see, can we go through? Why don't we go through this way, and we'll look at a couple others. This morning we worked on the spirit and the sakura, or the sakura. And this is the botanical gardens for the spirit forest. And this is their botanical gardens, and their apartment building is over here, and this is the spirit apartments right here. Now this is a specific apartment building. This is where the druids live when they are off duty, and this is important because for this weekend coming up, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, we are actually going to have a special. We're going to celebrate the rite of spring. And normally we would celebrate the rite of spring at the equinox. But like Easter and like Halloween, sometimes those rites coincide with people and what's going on with them. So this time in the history of this city, they are going to celebrate the rite of spring on the traditional religious Easter weekend, which is coming up right now. So on Thursday,
I won't
we're
work
going
during
to.
this terrible rain.
Yes, I know. It's okay. You don't have to go out. On Thursday, we will begin having people get off from work. And only a couple restaurants will be open, and those restaurants will be probably, I think I'm going to have to keep all the restaurants open. I don't think there's a way. When the cities were smaller and all, it seemed like we could do the restaurants where we only had like two open or something like that. I'm not sure we're going to be able to do that this time. We used to do it where the cooks and the cookery would take over some restaurants during the holiday, so that the restaurants got off. We do have two cooks, and they could do that, and then they can take off after the holiday. But that means that before the holiday, they're going to be very, very busy making a lot of food in preparation for the holiday and putting it into the warehouse. And that is just going to be a story for us, because technically I'm not sure that we could do it in survival, but we're not in survival. So that is that's what having an ambassador does. We have a treaty, and so there is no fighting, and also it allows us to do some special things like have a holiday. So this is the Sakura reception area or concierge. The bee farm is in their reception area, and they can actually see the spirit on both sides of them. The spirit concierge and the spirit botanical. Their botanical is at the far end, and those aren't trees, that is a decoration. The trees are actually planted into the tops of these planters here, and so that's where those leaves are coming from. But here, down here, we have the actual trees planted in the ground, in pots, of course, because we're in frozen water. They're planted in pots, and they are filling this area with beautiful, beautiful leaves.
Thunderbolts and lightning, really very, very frightening.
How many do we have left? I think we have at least two more. I beg your pardon. We have at least two more areas, apartment buildings that actually have a reception area. We have two apartment buildings, I think, that do not have a reception, or three. We can check in just a minute. This is the, maybe, let's see what the name is. Wow, I've forgotten. Let's come this way. I don't know what is going on here. It is so interesting. Oh, the Skyrus. So this is Skyrus wood from the Skyrus forests, and this is the concierge for it. In their concierge area, they have the restaurant, Corinne's restaurant, and the restaurants, I think the easiest is to name them after the person who runs the restaurant. So since we have 9 of them, that is how this is done. So Corinne is the owner of this restaurant, and she has a 2-story. We have a lot of 2-story restaurants. So we have the downstairs for fast food, and then the dining area up above, which is looking really bright
work
today.
During this terrible rain.
That's because the skylight is actually uncovered. That's something else that we did today. We figured out how to keep the snow off of the skylight, that we would use stair pieces on top of the skylight. The light still comes in, you can still see the sky, but you don't get the snow piling up on the skylight, which is what was happening. And so we're actually quite happy with that. this is what happens. So we just saw Corinne go downstairs after getting, you hear that sound? That's a bear. That's polar bears. Polar bears on the roof. Yes, this is a polar bear, what would you call it? Sanctuary area. And there she is. She got her food and she is finished her lunch and she's going to go back to work. And Corinne is down still waiting for the next customers to come in. And so it's good. And here comes someone now. And it is one of our fishers. That is Avery, if I'm not mistaken.
I'll take care of it.
Yes. No, Everly. I want to call her Avery, but it's Everly. And Everly is took over our original first fishery. We now have 3 fisheries, and we're doing good there. Let's go with all that explanation out of the way. Let's work on something. I'm going to work on decorating another botanical garden or concierge area. This botanical garden right here, the acacia, is for this new makers area. We have 2 makers areas. This area here and the one that's connected to the visitors shopping center. But right down here we have 2 things. We have a builder shop here, which when all the buildings are completed in this area is going to, we'll see what we do with that shop. We might put the trees in to this shop, but everyone is still working. You can see that this is a level 2 of one of Aquatica's apartment buildings right here, and this is the level 4 of one of Aquatica's builders. And so let's just check on Raquel. Raquel is waiting to serve lunch or dinner. It's getting close to dinner. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So she's going to be making some meals. Some people will stop by and get meals on the way home. What we want to work on is this right here. Can't work on those. Those aren't finished. But this is the level 5. And let's look at this for a second. This is a level 5 of the concierge, the Aquatica piece that I'm using, which is guard tower, as a concierge for the apartment buildings and for this apartment building right here. And why don't we start with what kind of wood we might like in this area. I'm going to have a sip of water for a minute. I'm going to be a little bit more conscious of this. And actually sip water more often during the time period, so as not to get too dry. Let's look at woods and see what we have. We've already used witch hazel. We've already used skyrus. We've used the spirit wood. We're going for the Biomes You've Gone woods, or we've gone. The Biomes We've Gone. So we've used mahogany. We haven't used any of the jacarandas yet. And we could. We also haven't used the white mangrove. And willow. Let me see what the willow leaves look like. Let's look at willow for a minute. and see what the leaves are like. These are the willow leaves right here, and this is the willow. I like it. This is stripped. The actual willow wood looks like this. Let's do this first, and then up here, see, we can see cabinetry. Let's take that. Let's take this, and let's take the cabinet that does not have, that's stripped, if there is one. There it is. That one right there. And I think that's good. Let's get an architect's cutter. With the architect's cutter, we're going to make panels, and we're going to make a trapdoor for the place where they have to go in. Hi. And so we'll do those things. So we're looking at this area. We're going to put the trees in into this area. There isn't going to be a botanical at the other end because this is the end right here. If you look across the way out this window, you will see an actual abandoned mermaid nether portal, and this was a nether portal for mermaid ships. And yes, this is a ship nether portal for going in and getting supplies and bringing them back, and so that's why that portal is so large. Yeah, we have some, and so they're not what you think they are, but they are, we would have to at least be able to fit something the size that dolphins could pull and things like that. So that's some of the things that we have. So since we can't put one at this end, this concierge is going to be a combination of botanical garden and of concierge. So these poles here are actually going to be trees, and we can start with the trees right away. We could make the trees, we could actually make the trees, I'm feeling stressed. Why? Interesting. I'm always intrigued by that. What brings that on? So let me continue for here right now. It's one of the reasons that sometimes I think that water doesn't help in the way that it helps other people. It doesn't always help me like that. And it could be the mermaid thing. All right, so there's the tree that we're going to have. I mean, I could actually make them logs. Let's do that. Willow. Toot toot. No. Willow. I-L-L-O-W. Place your hands. So which do I like better? Do I like it like this, or do I like it like this? I think I'm going to have it the way it would be in an Oh, the Biomes We've Gone forest, that the tree would be like this. So we're going to put in the tree in this part. Now, because we don't get to see a lot of the inside wood, I think we might use the wood for the floor in here. So let's begin. We're beginning at a completely different place than we do usually. We're starting with the floor with this one, and then we'll build up from there. But we're doing so far so good. I need these 2, 3 right here, boink, and we're putting in this on the floor as the flooring for this area. As we're using stumps, essentially. We're using the stumps and putting them underneath everything. Now that corner is actually the tree, so like the tree is coming down into this part, and there's the floor. Let me look and see what I've got. That works. Now just to give an idea of what the leaves are going to look like in this area, let's begin to put some of them up in this part. These are very dark, so this is going to be a very interestingly dark location. The hospital is right there, so we'll see how much of this we're going to have coming down in this area. These are in fact willows, and they're probably going to come down to about here. They're going to come down lower in this area than they do in some of the others to mimic the willow trees themselves. And we'll do that. Hold on for a second, and let me come here for a second. And let me look at this. And let me come over to here. And yeah, so we're going to now continue on this side, putting in this right here, and we'll put it in just to give an idea of what it's going to look like when it's all when that part is done. I'm just really trying to see how I like the idea of these coming down much farther than they do in the other sections. And I like that. We could say that they're trimming back the other areas, but you know how willows are. You know how much they spread out and the way they look. So that's how this area is going to look. There is a light in the center, so we don't have to worry about that. And there's plenty of light from the areas around, and if necessary we'll add a light here and here. Why am I talking about it? Hold on, why don't we do it now? So what don't I need? I don't need this, and let's look here for a second. I still need those. I still need that because I haven't made the things yet. And why am I doing that? Because I need to get something that's up in the air. So why don't we put this here? Let's take this down and let's get a copy of this. Put this back up, and let's come to these right here. So I think I want it to be right here. Let's take this and put this in, and then we can put the light pieces right along that, and that works for me. I'm going to put it there because then we can put the light pieces along that part. So that means that this is in already, and then this part right here is going to be that. Why didn't that leak? I don't know, but we'll put this right here like that to brighten up this area because of the way this area is going to look. Here we have the garage. Can we put this here? Wow, did not think it was going to allow us to do that. Is that where we need it to be? Yes, indeed. Okay, put this one in, and then take this whole area and do that. So I'm putting these here. If the tree comes around to these parts, then we'll take these away. But for right now, I think we're looking at the tree staying pretty droopy, but in this area, and I like that look. So we'll bring this whole piece around. Are we going to have a garden? We have to. We always have garden. So let's get this last one to put right here, and then let's put that in. There's one there. Yep, that one's already in. This is the one I'm looking at. And this one, did I seriously not put one here yet? I thought I had. How interesting. There's already one here. Look how bright it is right here. That suggests there's something already there. We're not going to put anything else since it is so bright in that section. Boink. Boink. And I think now that nothing is leaking. We have the floor area here. I see you. And then we're actually going to bring the trees into some of these areas where it actually is leaking. We'll put the trees in here. Look how dark that is. That is really quite amazing. So there is the tree. And let's look on the inside. And yep, we've got some places here we're going to shut off right there. And that, of course, isn't leaking. And so here's this section. So now we'll begin. We don't need this anymore. We do need this. And this, we need the wood. We don't need these right now. And we definitely need all the rest of these pieces. So before we start, there's Mauricio going to work. It's dripping. I saw that. Ah, it's dripping from the doors. Now these are the airlock doors. They look like garage doors because they are from Macaw's garage doors, actually. But these doors are the airlocks for this area right here. When a submarine comes in, these are opened up. These are closed, the exact opposite. These are closed first on both sides, and then this is opened, and then the gurney is already in this space, and it comes out. And they have a special bubble gurney that they use, using the same material that Tana, the mermaid nation, has taught the land people about having wood and things in the water and not having them be spoiled. And so, who is that laughing? What are you laughing about, Philip? And so that is how a kind of bubble is used to put over the stretcher, and then it is taken out to the submarine. And so that's what happens if someone needs to either come here and see one of our specialists, or if we need to have someone go to a specialist not in town. Let's get rid of this now. I am going to keep these so that I remember which ones. they are, which is the entrances. So we'll do the non-entrances first, which means right here we're going to have this one facing this way. So this is a concierge area. So we have one piece facing that way, and then we have the others facing in. And now that we have those in place, we can put in all of the pieces that have drawers, and these drawer pieces allow them to have enough furniture in here. Hold on. Okay, and then we can take these away now. We don't need this. And before we start any of that, for just a second, let's come over here and let's use the domum ornamentum, and let's get a panel, wood paneling to put on. And then we also need a trap door. So on the other side of that, we'll put the trapdoor piece. So we're going to put paneling on here, and this is the way we've done all of the concierge areas, is putting paneling over top of these parts. Done. And we'll put them right there. Oop. No, we don't want to go in the drawer. All right, so this is what it would look like without. Sorry about that. I'm talking to Vincentius Primus.
The stress of switching the screens?
Possibly, maybe. I didn't think it was that stressful.
That would be interesting.
That would be interesting. If I wanted to make this one different, what I would probably do is not put up the ones across here and just have the cabinets on the sides. Let's see if we want to do that. Let's come here and let's get the cabinetry and put one there, and one here. So that's what it would look like on these sides. So nope, wrong way. There's actually, if we put, do I have a leaf? If we put a leaf there, then we have no problem. So let's put one here and here. And ooh, I know, Paladin turns that corner, which is really wild. Let's have it be like this. This is different from the others. And then let's put up the paneling on this part. Whoops. And that gives us this look. And over here, no. No, I have to find the right middle. And it's going to rain there if we leave that. And there we are. I kind of like it. I really do. I do like it. Okay, and let's bring this corner. That's too far down. Let's just bring this part right here down just a little bit. People are going home, see? And there are people, farmers and workers, makers who live there. That's actually Raquel. going home to her temporary home right here. Eventually, she's going to move into the new apartment building because it's so close, unless she's living with someone, and that isn't going to work. We'll find out. Let's put in the trap right here. There is that piece, and then right here we'll put this one in, and there we are. So this is the concierge area for the willows. Now, I don't know, I kind of wanted to have more going on. So why don't we, first of all, let's do podzol, because this definitely seems like something that podzol. This is in the room. All of these are in the room. We don't need them right now. Let's hold on to these two for a second, just in case we want to do something. Let's take these two down. We'll leave that one up. Let's put these away. Let's come to here. Podzol. So let's get podzol. What's that? Podzol dearth path. Ah. Now I can't put too much grass and stuff because it does impede them, the couriers. So this is why we're just having these little areas here where things will be growing in the ground in these spots, and they can still get around the desk, the couriers, and get to where they need. If we wanted to, that would be interesting to do. We could put in trees. We can't put them here because this is where the willow is. Let me take this down on both sides here and put in, whoops, this piece and this piece, and a sign. Dum 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 dum. And yep, this is the problem. It is so interesting, the effect it has. There we go. We can either do spruce or dark oak. Here's dark. We'll see which goes the best. We could probably just do black dye. We might have to do black dye in order to glow it. We might have to actually make the dye a color. We'll see in a second. And which one do we like better? This one? Ooh, that looks nice actually. Or this one. Oh, both of them look good. Let's use the dark and put it in. Done. And now let's take, yeah, let's leave it for now. And let's come here. And this is the Willows apartment building. And so this apartment building is called the Willows. And come here. Okay, done. Did I put that extra space on that one? I think I did. Let's bring it down one. And let's delete and then, okay, it's good. So if we
put black on here. Nope. Oh, we don't have to. Okay. It would look like that. I don't really like that. Nah, I don't like that. And I've got the black in my hand and it won't let me use it. So we'll replace the sign with another. Ooh, that's interesting. No, we want it like this. There we go. Okay. It looks better with the dark. And we're good to go. Okay, so now we just need plants. Yeah, I'm still thinking about having smaller willows on the sides here in the ground. Especially away from this. So we could have a willow here and make the tree part small like we did in that other space. Use a different type, and I definitely think I want to do that. So that would mean that these would go away probably right in here, and we actually need the log for a minute. Willow, log, and look, there's a willow stool. Let's do this. Let's do this, and then I'm gonna have to check on the people, because sometimes if I'm away doing something too long, then people begin to suffer for it. So this is posts here, or let's try the posts just in case. So we'll see what size we want these trees to be. They're baby trees is what we're going to say, but the other one that we want is this size right here. Now the problem with this one is it wants to stick to the wall, and we don't want it to. So let me see what happens. Let's see if this is going to work. So see, it wants to do that, and that's what I don't want. But this I could actually have if I can figure out how to get it to not have that knob in the center. And I don't know how. Ah, that looks smaller. See that? So let's put this one down. No, it's still big, small. Let's see if up here, nah, I'm not going to be able to get it. I'd have to use a different piece. So let's find a different piece of this that we can add. Because, yeah, I can't use fence at all. Oh, this one, of course. I missed this one. So let's take this one and use it. And we're not going to use that. This is what we need. So let's come here. And let's take this and put it here. And maybe the top one. Nah, see, it wants to do that. So we'll have this one. We're going to have some tiny trees on these pieces right here. And I just like the idea of that. And then leaves is what we need. take this away, and this. We can have those connect right there, like that tree is growing pretty amazingly. And we'll put that there. This one's a little shyer, I think. We're just gonna have it just be here and here. And then these two here. Let's do the same. And we're gonna let that one go to there. And then have this one come out in this area and just be like that. So what do we find under willows? What kind of trees are we talking about that we can find? Can they cross over? They actually can. So we're going to put this down in this part. And that'll keep them from doing that. Especially if we do it here, not necessarily right there, but especially right here. Let's look at the other side. This side is better at that. It's got two empty spaces that are dripping, so we'll cover those. And there we have it. Flowers. Flowers. Let's put all of this away. These are in the room. We didn't use that. We didn't use those. Bring this down. These are in the room if we need. And let's just make these go away. Why? Because I need room for flowers. So, I don't know. I would think more like ferns or something, wouldn't you? More like ferns or things, because willows are dark. So what if we did fern pieces? What's that? Snowy. Interesting. What else can we do that's green? Plant. Let's see if there's any plants that we can find that we might like. I haven't used the geranium planter yet, any place. And I don't think I'm going to use it here. I think we're going to do this. Yeah, I think we are. I can only put one in that spot. And it almost makes me want to have that. And we should have tree here. Let's do a tree in this area. Somebody's leaking anyway, so let's take this and take this and put the other trees right here. No. Right here. And then we'll have the leaves come over and touch that one. Is something leaking? Let's take that. Let's do this one like this and have that one just have a different shape. And there we have it. So this is the willows. And so when the druids walk through this section, they can actually have the feeling of the forest. Now they know they're not in a forest. This is a botanical. I don't want to bring it out too much because it does affect the couriers' movement, because these aren't paths. And even paths, they don't move as fast. Mr. Villager, hi.
Hey, how are you? ¿Cómo está você? How are you doing? How's things going? So yeah, you just arrived just as I finished the Willow's concierge, the Willow's reception area for the apartment building right here. And it looks like this. And they are happy. I suppose I could use the log and bring the log out farther, but I don't really want to. It would make sense with willows, because willows have big root pieces, and if we wanted to, we could make it seem like the roots are reaching out from certain areas. We could do that and give it that kind of look. Have this come out a little bit more, but I don't think so. I'm not sure. Palmy. It's actually willow. It's saying that this is the way the willows look. Let me look and see what palm looks like in this. Oh, the biomes we've gone. What's palm look like? So the palm wood itself, is this it? Yes, that's the stripped. And then the leaves are this color. So this is palm in comparison. And then the leaves look like this in comparison to those. And you can see there's more air in those leaves. This is actually willows. And that's why they're coming down much lower than they do in some of the other areas. Most of the other areas are staying up pretty high, but these are coming down pretty quick, pretty far down, right over their heads. And there it is, the willows. So I'm good with that. I'm good with that. So let's go look at what time of day it is. It's 4 o'clock, 4:30 in the afternoon. Let's see if Raquel is actually serving any food. We're going to go through this way. And how are you? How are you doing, Mr. Villager? How are you doing? And let's see, Raquel doesn't have anyone waiting, so things are good here. And she seems to have enough food. And she's doing okay. Yep, there she is. Okay, let's go in this direction. She could move into this apartment building. There's now at least one other apartment if we wanted her to. Cadence is here. And Raquel could actually live here. This is being upgraded to a level 2. This is the one that's going to be the level 3. It's pretty harsh. So probably staying where she is for right now is probably a little bit better. Those are at least 5s. You're good. Oh, good. To the bem. Good. Okay. Let's come back through. And Elena and Beatrix haven't been here. So that means that they're waiting on something they can't get. And people are going home. We're watching people go home now. Going to the willows right here. And then some people live down in this area. I'm going to look. This is the shepherds, that farm.
the rabbits here. This is a food farm here, which is growing wheat. And we're going to look at the wheat and see. We do have garlic growing here. Garlic's hard to keep track of. It goes really fast. And then up here, this is mint, more than likely. Let's look and see. It is indeed. So this is mint for the mint tea. That's there. And what am I doing? I'm actually putting in the concierge hallways. So the places that have those guard towers that we're calling a reception for the apartment buildings, I'm putting those, I'm getting those made into their tree counterparts. That's June, believe it or not. And so over here, there's the Skyrus. And down here we have the Sakura. This is the Sakura here. And over here, hold on. This is the Spirit here. And this one is, oh, we've got two, called the Oaks. We can't have two called the Oaks. So now we'll have to have a second. I'll have to find another name. It's much easier to change this one than it is to change the other one, because the other one is actually using waxed oak wood from Dawn of Time. So it's oak. We could change this to, I thought so, you know, when I was naming that the oaks, it's like, why does this seem familiar? And it's because we had this sign here. So I need some other kind of tree here. We could do dark oak. Let's look at the woods leaves for a minute. We wanted the orange leaves, and we have different, that's what we could do. We could call this the red oak apartments, and I think that's what we'll do. And then the other one is just the oaks. So this will be the red oak apartment here. Or we could take advantage of the fact that there are a whole bunch of trees that we haven't used and use a completely different tree. We haven't used the baobab yet at all. We could look at the wood. Let me see, this is baobab here. So the wood looks like this. And we have fruit leaves and flowering leaves. The fruit leaves are actually nice, and we could use them because they have the orange in them. Let me see. Let's go back into this area. We're actually going to redo this one. But do I want it to be baobab? We have oaks in, I don't know what those are. They have azalea flowers, but they're not, are they azalea trees? I don't know, maybe so. Maybe we could call it azaleas. The azalea. All right. Because we already have azaleas right there for the dairy. And we could make this the azalea park. I think I like that. So we're going to trade it out. Trade out the leaves and the wood. So if we're doing azalea, azalea does use the oak. So all we're doing is changing the name and changing the leaves. So azalea, EL, and this is azalea right here. No, that's witch hazel. That is not azalea. S-E-A-L? There it is. Okay, so we need this and this. And I think we're good with this part. So we're just going to replace these leaves with azalea leaves in this area. So let's have, how much of it is blooming? Let's have none of it. I don't think I'm going to have any of it be blooming in here. Come back here and all the way back to there. Put that in. And that part is above this section right here. So we'll take these away. I'm actually just being really kind of quiet today, Mr. Villager. I'm working on these sections here, the reception areas, because on Thursday and Friday and Saturday we're going to have the rite of spring. We're going to have a spring holiday. We're going to celebrate spring on the same weekend that Easter is being celebrated most every place. And so I could say that I'm kind of preparing for that by trying to have areas that people can come and walk around and enjoy during that time period. And so this is what we're going to do. Now these are druids, so the fact that the forests are consistently green or consistently the colors that they are blooming has to do with the fact that they are druids, and their understanding of trees is really quite phenomenal. Trees just grow for them in the forests, and that will be cool. Cross Gardens, you like it? Thank you. You'll be back. You have to get back to your reading. Okay. Okay, I know that you're preparing. Winter is coming. September is coming for you. I know it's not September where you are, but I know that school begins probably pretty soon. And yeah, okay. And let me look here. Let's see. I actually like that. We're good with that. The orange is fine in this area because it is housing, and housing is usually orange. So we'll do that. And we'll continue. You're not going to have azalea flowers in this area. So this is another one of these little rooms. I haven't done too much, but I have. Look at that. I have done something in here. Look at this. Okay. All right. I see it. Yeah. I could actually sleep here. It's 5, but it's too late to sleep. It's after 5:30. Player has to sleep before 5:30 in order to sleep during the night. So nah. Okay, and we'll continue. We're going to look. So, oh wait, we didn't change the name. We're going to change the name to the Azalea Apartments. And that's what we're going to call this here. So let's come here.
The food was
Do I
great
know how to
today.
spell azalea? I don't know. We'll find out in a minute. A-Z-A-E-L. Nah, I don't know how to spell it. I didn't think so. Azaleas. A-Z. And there it is. A-Z-A-L-E-A. Okay. AZ. Bring this down. No. AZALEA. Azalea Apartments. Yeah. Let's go back. The azalea. Let's go up again. Caps. Make that go away. The azalea. That's pretty. Like that. I like that. Okay, let's take this one. And come here. AZALEA. Azalea. Dun, 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 dun. So this is the azalea apartment building. And this is the last one in this farm area. The farm area here. We're going to put a dome on this building. It's a level 5 as soon as Hallie is done doing some other things. I believe that this is something she has worked on. This is a level 5. And we are going to put another farmer down here. We have to. We are not keeping up with the onions and with the garlic. That's the one that's kicking us. This should be tomatoes here. Beets. That's beets. I said tomatoes. We can't grow tomatoes. Beets is what I meant, and it is because this was supposed to be Minecraft, just Minecraft food here, but we can't. We actually need some other foods. Now she is picking carrots, it looks like, or planting carrots. And yes, she is. So we can see her doing that. Does this go all the way around the room here? Let's pull this. No, that's where it should be. All right, so I think this is 6. That one sitting right there, but we'll see. So that would mean that these 2 buildings would be brought up another level, so that we can have an upstairs in both of these buildings. And then from there, we would actually hire another farmer. Where are we going to put this other farmer? Where can we put the other farmer? These buildings, the greenhouses are really big. I have done it in the past of putting the arcology in and then taking away the building itself and just having the farmer be here.
Without this, I can't
Let me
work.
see how big the building is and what kind of damage it would do. Let's get the builder's tool for a second. Right here. And let's touch down. This is a level 5 building. It's not going to be affected. Let's go to arcology. No, we don't need any caps. LOGY. And we should have arcology, but it's not going to show it to me. There we go. And let's go to fundamentals, to farm. Nope. Husbandry, horticulture, farm. And so this is the size of a farm building, this piece right here. But all we want is that. See that there? That's all there is in an arcology farm building, is that right there. But it is going to break through the ceiling, and it is going to break through this area right here. However, it's perfect to go right here like this. So the farmer piece would be right here like this. We would have to put all of this stuff back, the pumpkins and things, and take away that right there. Ooh, case finished. Case finished working on something. We are definitely getting glass. I am not supplying them. The Minecolonies, when you get to, especially where I'm at, they will make the materials that the builders need. And the only thing that you really have to be concerned about is stuff like copper or prismarine or purpur. They can make those, but it takes a long time. So if you need a ton of it, that's where the player comes in. Now for me, the player comes in here because I'm going to add this building to here, and that will give us another farmer. I have to add the level 5, and do I want them to build it? Okay. We'll have them build it. Let's have them build it. Normally I don't, but this is not outside. So the same way River put the extra fisher in the Aquatica fishery, we're going to put the extra farmer in the underwater base farm here. So level 1, let's come to here and let's assign a builder. And there it is. There's the piece. And we're going to have Hallie begin working on this. So the builder is going to be Hallie and build the building. I don't think Hallie is working on anything. So we'll find out in a minute. We can just go down to where she is. It's almost 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Let's see if she had anything else. She is working on something. She's working on a residence, and she's
so
not
wise.
finding. You need a blue bed? You're having trouble with a blue bed? Okay. So let me have her
Good day to ya.
ask for it again and see if that's the problem. And let's see what she's got. So she's almost done. We'll have her work on the farm after she gets done with the apartment building. And so she's working on that. Do I want to go down and check for a second? I think I might. Let's go down to the makers. The dye shops are in the shopping center, and I like the way this one came out. This is a different reception area. The Sakura, I think this is the Sakura because the other one is the Zelkova. So this is the Sakura or the Sakura. And we did this one this morning on Twitch. And I just like it. It's pretty. It's pretty. And this is a Sakura forest back here. This is the other color of Sakura leaves back here, and then we have the lighter spring ones in the front. But you can see that the wood is the same, dark wood. And we just had fun with that one. And then of course the spirit botanical. And we're coming into the center, the town hall. We're going to cross over into the visitors shopping center. We're going to go upstairs. They're coming down because the day is over. And there they go. There goes Micah and I think that was Dana also. Let's come over here. That's what it is. The Fletchers are in Robin Hood hats. That's who's in those Robin Hood hats. And this is what... No. It it's wrong again. But I did, oh, but you know what? I bet I touched the same one to put it in. Grr, it's so angering. You see why? See that glass all out there? Blasted. Gosh. Grr, I'm so angry. I actually set that one specifically because I knew that the thing is borked, and it still is. The placement of that, see how it says that you can click on this and do the dome? The dome is not right. The dome's not in the right place. And it's been that way for some time. I actually mentioned it to Mubian, and so I've done all that I can do in respect to that. But now I've got all this glass in the wrong place. And let's come up here and look. And there it is. You see that right there? That's supposed to be over top of this. And that's what it keeps doing. And I've actually... Look what it did. It broke into there. I'm going to have to be really careful when I take this stuff off here. And that's disappointing. That means that I'm not going to be able to set it over top of the original. I'm going to have to do what I did with the others and just set it where I want it to be. And they might not be able to build them at all. But I had one of them do it and it worked out. Just Case put the one on here and it worked out fine. I think I might have used the wrong, oh, and it's a mess too, because it's built in and it is completely ruined the top of the building. So I can't, what I could do is put the dome in, have them put the dome in like I did over here, because the same thing happened over to here with this dome. The exact same thing happened where we thought that we could put it in and then we saw it wasn't going in right. And so we'll just have to do the same thing with this and place the dome properly. Now this part right here that's messed up right here, this is going to be a problem, but it might be able to be fixed. Let me fix this part right here for a second because this is breaking. Let me see where this is. Was there a piece right there? I think there was. I want to put a piece here for a minute just so that that part and that part just for right now. But see all this here? This isn't supposed to be here. Okay. How interesting. So it's still a problem. I'm going to have to go back on Twitch and look at it and see what I did, why that turned out in the wrong place. So I turned it around so that it would match the location of the original, but I didn't take the original down. I wonder if, oh no, let's go quickly to the other restaurant for a minute. Let's look at the restaurant over here for a minute. Let me see where I am. I've got to figure out where I am. There's that. I see what that is. I see that. There's the restaurant. Okay. So the restaurant is right around the corner here. And he's up. Why is that there? See that there like that? So I've got the same problem again. All right, and I think I know what the difference is. I think I should have taken down the original one, and I think it just used the original, the first, the one that's with the building, and the one that's with the building is the one that's messed up. And because why was that all the way over there? And why do I have these sitting where they're sitting? So it's not going in correctly either. Okay. So let's go in here for a second and stop Danny from working on that. And then I'll have to fix the other one from the outside, fix both of them from the outside. So let's come down here. What time of day? It's 2 o'clock in the morning. What an interesting dilemma. It's very curious. And cancel the build. And then let's come down here. This is where it's being built. Let's go upstairs. And let's remove this and that. And now it's completely removed. So if we put one in, it's going to be a completely different one. And that's the thing that I need to do. That's the mistake. I think they just started making the one that was already there. Nope, don't want to go that way. I want to go this way because I have to go out. But let me make sure that Case said he was done, so he's not working on anything else, but just to make sure. Yep, okay. So now let's go out. This is the closest out, is this airlock right here. We'll go out and we'll put both of those back. I'm amazed that no one else, I'm amazed that Lady Shatana did not have this problem. And if it's a problem, maybe it's a misunderstanding by me. Maybe that's only supposed to be an indication of how to line the dome up. And I thought that was the case. And that's what I thought I was doing. And yet it still did not come out right. But I didn't remove the piece that was there. So let's go over to, I've got a builder on me. And let's come over to where this one is, the one that Danny's working on. Let's see if we can do something about this one first. So right here, touch down. Let's switch to Aquatica, Quatica. And the dome is in decorations, in recreation. And here is the small dome and level 3. Let's X. Let's do that again. The dome, recreation, the small dome. There we go. Level 3, so I can see what it looks like. So the square is correct. And we're just going to bring the square back and put it on top. So there it is. Now what I had done was I tried to match up where the hut block had been originally. And that's the thing that I should have taken that hut block away. So let's come down. Let's go inside here. I should have done the other airlock, but that's okay. My eyesight, there we go, will return to normal. People are starting to go to work. It's 6 o'clock in the morning, almost 7. There's Leonard. And Leonard's a baker, and he works right here. Let's go upstairs. Khalil is already making breakfast for people. And now I need the hut block. So see where it is? That's too high. So we're going to bring the hut block down to here. And that's where it's supposed to be. I'm sorry, Khalil. No, I'm not here for breakfast. Oh, Paloma is there for breakfast. Okay. It's like, what are you doing? And it's like, I'm trying to build you a dome. Okay, let's try this one more time. Build the building, and let's, I'm going to skip it. I'm going to construct this part. Okay, so there's a new piece there. And now, that's done. Let's escape and come from here. And let's go to upgrade right here. Let's upgrade and let's come here, and the builder is going to be Danny and build the building. So he should build it from this new piece that we have here. I've got to check. Now I need to check on the other domes, because he was supposed to be working on the school dome too. Everyone's eating or waiting to be fed. Lane finished breakfast and he's going down. Paloma is eating, and Zane, they're both finishing breakfast. And so we're going to come down in here. Let's go to the other one that Danny was working on, and let me see what it looks like. He was working on the dome in the children's area, and let's hope that it didn't do the same weird thing. So it's rare that there's something like this. This is actually rare. I don't know if this is the right one or not. Ah! Oh, this is the right one. This is the original one that we're not doing. This is the correct one right here. Upgrade, and let's have Danny work on both of these. So when he gets done with the other one, he's going to come and put in the next part of this. This is the children's school, a level 5 children's school in Aquatica Style, which I have modified with furniture, with all sorts of different furniture. You can't move the mats on the floor. They are tied to the build, and that's the way the school kids learn. So you have to be careful about changing anything in regards to those. Even if you take them up, they're still going to sit there. So it doesn't, it's one of those kinds of things that you don't want to do. Hi. You like pizza, huh? I see that. You also have a book in your hand. That is Ariana. Yes, it is. That's Ariana. And Ariana is here because we don't have enough room right now at the library for her to do research, the university library, and she doesn't have any children to teach. And Fabian, who is the head librarian, there's no room in the library for him, so he's lecturing, and that's how we're doing it. He's lecturing in the lecture hall, and so that's why she is where she is. Let's look at our students for a minute and see how their grades are going, because we need and there we can see it. So Annabelle is Annabella came in as a, does she have, nope, she's a kid, and she's at 26, so they need 30 to graduate, so she's not quite there. Avery's at 22, A is at 24, Bentley is a parent, Gail is at 23, Greta's at 26, but Greta is a parent, Bentley and Greta are fostering kids. Khalid is a student, and he's at 20, and Michaela is an older student who's now a researcher, and we'll look and see. River, this is a second River, and she's a student, and Zane is an older student researcher. And let's look at some of the things that we have some people destined for and see how we're doing in regards to that. I don't see anybody here. What time of day is it? Let's go look at Nina and see if she has a whole bunch of people waiting to be fed down here. She might not. Oh, she doesn't. Good for her. So Nina has been taking, oops.
You are so wise.
You haven't had a decent meal in a while? Hold on for a second. Pause. Ooh, Atticus. Yes, look how low. Okay, he can't go back to the nether. Look at this. Look at the damage. He's actually injured. And, wow, Atticus.
What's it today, then?
Let me look at what you've got on you. I know you're asking for stuff. Let's take these things off. All of these. We'll give him new stuff. He is eating. Let's see what I've got here that I can give him to replace these pieces. Let's put this up. Let's put this up. Let's come here and put these two away. And then let's go to here again. And put these here for a second. And let's come here. The next time he goes, he's going to take these. He has some extras of this. He'll take that. He's low. Look at how low he is on equipment. He does at least have one of these. Look! Yahoo! Look what he's got! Yay, team! Excellent! He's actually got a full set of plate. He can go back now with a full set of plate. Let me take these pieces and put them in here for a minute. I'm just going to take them back to the blacksmith. We have a special chest where we're putting them for the time being, and we'll put them there. And then let's come here and let's look at this. This is so weird that it's saying that he has all of these. But I'm just going to, the numbers don't matter because the numbers are wrong. And he doesn't need these this time. No wonder. No wonder. How cool. So I'm going to put all of this here. This is really neat. And we'll put that in. Let's put these here and then put these parts. He only has one pair of pants, which is interesting, leggings. The tacos are the best of the foods here, and some hand pie he should be taking. Let's have him take all the hand pie, the tacos, and we'll leave the rest of the food here for when he returns. And now what we need is this, this, and this. This means that he could go. I don't want him to go yet. Now that I think about it, I don't really want him to go yet. Let's put these back. He's injured, actually. You see his numbers, and so since he is, Let's have him wait out this time for a minute. I just realized he would be going and he's injured. So we're going to put all of this back and let him prepare to go next time. So I've got that. Let's put these here. And let's put this here. That's the full set. And yeah, let's leave that. We'll take the old stuff back. Mildred is his partner, and we could work on their house. Maybe that'll be fun, to get some work done on some of the housing still. I don't think we've worked on any of the druid exploration. In other words, where the spirit apartment is, I'm not sure we've worked on any of those. So we could go and work on them. And yeah, this is part of the reason why I don't drink because it always seems like whenever I do that I start coughing. So let me see. He's home. Let's take all of the armor that's damaged and let's take it. I know it's not damaged that badly. I don't like them going with the armor used because it's so easy for them to get forgotten. Like, I actually kind of forgot that Atticus was still making a trip to the nether, so they'll make more than one trip, and they'll continue, and that's the thing. And I guess they're supposed to be taking stuff. We're going to the mechanic. We need a blacksmith. Let's come this way. We'll walk through to get to the blacksmith for a second. So it's 11 o'clock at night. Actually, it's 10 o'clock at night. And so everyone is gone home. But this is our chest where we're keeping all these pieces. So let's bring all of this down that we just brought back here. At all of these pieces, these belong to Atticus, and we'll put them here. And when we have enough of these, we'll either combine them or whatever we can do. I know there's really nothing you can do about the flint and steel. I'm thinking about what I want to do about that, because there actually isn't anything. You can't combine them. Maybe you can in some mod. If we had corrales, we could actually recycle them, but we don't have corrales in Neo yet, and this is Neo Forge. And so I should check, though. I should check again, because it was fun to find out that Beautify, one of the mods that I loved the furniture for, had actually upgraded to Neoforge, and that was wonderful to see that. What is wrong with this picture? Is she sitting, standing? Is she buried in the ground? Bailey, what's going on with you? And I can't wake her. So the only thing I can do is go back and call her to her station. I think I'm going to do that. I'm concerned that she's in the ground. So why don't we come over here? We're going to Bailey's station, and we're going to have her report to her station. So who's this?
Good to see you.
That's Mira. Mira is probably looking for Bailey. Mira is First Druid. She's actually the one who makes sure that all the druids she's also one of the first 4, so that makes her even more powerful or honored. See, there we go. I'm telling Vincentius it's almost like I'm allergic to water. Let's recall her. Nope, recall her. Oh, that's not good. Hear that sound? Hear those footsteps? That's her. We might have to start over. I thought that looked strange. If she didn't disappear from that spot, she's stuck. And we may have to do something about that. So let's come here. It's a game in beta. What? I see her. Ah. She is stuck. Okay, she didn't recome when I called her. And she is in the floor. And she's not moving. She's not responding. See? So, let's get out. And all it usually takes is for me to exit and go back. So let's do that. So let's save and quit to title. I'm going to have to load CurseForge for a minute. The screen's going to go dark. I know I could go to the Be Right Back screen, but it's just really short. So I'm just going to stay. Oh, yay! A ghost screen did stay up this time. Let's go to CurseForge and bring it up. And let's look and see if anything has been added. Not since I came in, so we'll hit play. There we are. And now we have the launcher. And let's bring the launcher over and hit play, and it's installing. And it's going to install on the screen anyway. I'll have to fix it from the other side when I get done. So, yes. So, how are you? I'm watching the launcher load Minecraft for a moment. NeoForge 1.21.1 is what we're playing. And Minecraft is up to 1.21.5. So we're a little behind, but it has to do with Minecraft and their relationship with modders and what happened with the last 21. And so there was a lot of talk about it. I don't know anything about it. I'm not a modder, and so I can't really speak to that. However, there is Discord, and you can go out to Discord and find all the information you want about what's going on with the mods and Minecraft and Microsoft. So yeah, so it's loading right now, and when it loads, then we'll get rid of CurseForge. And it should be fine. So the terrain is loading. Now this is an interesting thing. I've noticed the terrain loading slower in this last 2 updates, and it might be attention to detail, and I hope so. Attention to detail would be good. All right, so we're back. So let me get CurseForge to go away, because CurseForge is always going out and getting commercials, and that's why. And here we are. Okay, so we're back and she's gone. And so that means that, oops, I have that. Let's put that there. That means that we can continue, and everything's all right. Yes. Okay, so yeah, I'm trying to think what I'm going to. Bailey? That's Bailey, by the way, who just passed us. I want to see what's going to happen here. Yeah. Okie dokie. Okay, now she's just sleeping. See, her feet are on the floor. Okay, that's fine. And she's fine. Okay. Yes, and I did the research for coffee. And, which is a joke. So, I think it's a Minecolonies joke. They say, here, if you do this research for coffee, that none of the guards will sleep. It takes away sleep 100%. And when I first did it, it actually made them sleep, and they hadn't been sleeping. They hadn't been sleeping. And then they started sleeping again all over the place. So, yeah, so. So I've considered it a joke. Now, they maybe think that coffee doesn't keep you awake. I don't know whether that's what they're saying by it. I don't know. We'll find out. So there we go. So there's all of the builders coming up. Hallie is working. Danny is working. River is working. Beatrix is working. Yay!
Upgrade said, upgrade again.
Yes, thank you very much. That is a new voice. Yay! What he said. And he's just waiting for pieces, waiting for materials to come in. I'm going to check right quick on Beatrix and on Elena and get them to re-ask for what they were asking for. Oops. So that me going wobbly is because I forget that that the screens are switched. And I look over here and I can see the screen on OBS, but I can't move from that screen. If I do, then I'm like wonky. So, hi. Bless you. All right, here we go. What do you need? Oh, you just need the normal stuff. Okay.
Great to see you.
You too. So we're going to cancel and let her re-ask for that. Now watch. Nope, she wasn't going there. Okay, good. That was one of the couriers, and I thought, watch. Just when she was bringing it, I canceled. And she is either having breakfast or she's decided not to come anymore because she hasn't gotten the pieces. And there she is.
Great to see you.
Great to see you too. You're late. Did breakfast take longer than you expected? Okay. Let me see what you're asking for. And you are too. Huh. We're gonna have to go and check on the people who are making beds. This is the second bed.
Is there a problem?
That's what I want to know. We'll cancel it out. So that was a gray bed and a blue bed. And we're going to go over to the Fletcher for a minute and see what that means. And there go druids on the cars. And it must be strange because them sitting up in the cars, they originally sat down in the cars. And then they started not sitting in the cars. And then you start going, well, what happened and that kind of thing. And all I can think is, there's so much to keep up with. So many things. What was that? Did you hear that? That was someone actually falling. Oh, did she get up on here and fall down? Did she actually... Those were really weird sounds. Okay. The only thing I can think is she was here and she dropped down, but it shouldn't be that much of a drop. She can't drop from that other part. Let me look at something. Is it saying that somebody is hurt? It isn't. But look, River finished the sea truck level 2. Whoa! So as soon as we check on this, I want to check the dye shop first. And Micah is supposed to be taking white beds and making and dyeing them blue and dyeing them different colors. So I'm going to come here for a second and get a bed first of all. Just a white bed just in case. Yep. And then we'll get him to dye it. So you can do one of two things. Either the wool and have them make the bed, or have the dyer dye them. So let's do both. So crafting recipes. So see, there is a red bed being dyed. And how many others? There's a black bed, candles, and an orange. Teach recipe. So let's teach the light gray bed, and we can just do this like this and change it to white, and that one's done. And then let's teach the gray bed, and come here and change the bed color, and that's good. And then the blue, let's teach the blue one. I know I miss it. I do this because I miss it every time. And do we want to do the light blue? I don't think it was a light blue, but right now we're just going to do that. And I know there's a purple bed involved and a green bed involved. So we'll do them for a minute. But these are the beds that they're going to ask for a lot. And we'll put this here. And that's green, and we'll let it go for now. If they ask for something else, then we'll get it for them later. Okay, Micah?
Patsy, good to see you.
Everybody's sneezing. Do we need to put some heat on in this place or something? Everybody is sneezing. He's got some food put away. He's got some dyes. And he is working. And then Dana. Dana's also one of the dye shop owners. And she is doing mostly glass and candles. She does have the cyan and the yellow bed. And so she does have some of that. Let's go to the Fletcher for a minute, and then we'll go and see the new sea truck area, which is the player home, and we'll look and see that. Where are we going to? We're going to the Fletchers, Sebastian and Case. Now this is a different case. We have two cases, and Sebastian is right here, but we're coming in here. And here we go. So there's Case, and we're going to look at beds. We should have, yeah, see, look at that. So let's do white wool first of all. Let's make this bed first. Teach recipe, and I'm going to need oak. So let's come here and get a piece of oak for the beds, and then come back. And teach recipe, teach the bed, and change the wood to oak, and we've got that bed. Now we could teach the colors, so we could teach the light gray with the wood and see who's going to get it done faster. Let's teach the green with that color, and let's teach what's the other one? The blue. Just teach them. Okay, now the question is, for dyeing the wool, to get it the colors that we need, we would need white wool. Let's get a piece of wool, and one more time we're going to go back up. I love when the azalea trees are in a pot. They're just such a cute little thing, and I just love that. That's adorable. And so thank you, Case and Sebastian. We're going to go back over to the dye shops, and that is definitely what Dana is doing. And of course, she's growing the flowers that they're using. Notice she's not asking for compost. That's how much compost we have, that she's actually not asking for any, because she is well supplied, and she'll ask for some when she needs it again. And it is nighttime and people are going home. Can they get on top of that? Oh, now that would be interesting if that's what happened. Hold on for a second. Let me raise this up one more. I think that when they stand up here, they can get on top of this. And if they could, yeah, they would definitely fall flat. That would not be good. So we'll bring that up one more and leave it for right now. Yeah, because that was a bad fall somebody had. So let's come here and let's look at wool. So there's white, there's light blue, black, magenta. I think we have some colors missing. Okay, let's go to wool and let's do it. So since we have white already, let's come in and let's make that one. It's so easy to do it right quick, and it just saves a lot of trouble. And I could have gotten that piece of wool from my warehouse. We do have that. So that is gray, and I think there was black, but we're just gonna go ahead. Oh my gosh. Did you hear that? Good gracious. Okay. So that doesn't happen in your ear again, I'm quickly going to go down and find a bed. There is a guard tower in this area, and we're just going to run to it right quick and go to sleep. It is not that late at night. It's only 9 o'clock. But as you heard, we do have a thunderstorm. So let's see if everyone is in bed. And I do not see all colonists are in bed. Oh yeah, there it is. There it is, stuck in the middle. So we'll go to sleep. If I go to sleep before all colonists are in bed, then people don't get rested. And if it happens too often, they begin to complain that they haven't gotten enough sleep, like people do.
when they haven't gotten enough sleep. So let's go back quickly. And I know I kind of need to do all the colors, but I think I'm just going to do, hi, maybe just the blue, all the blues and the greens, and that should cover right now. So here we are in Teach Recipe, and we're teaching, so we got the gray and the black. Let's do all the blues. So I think this was done already, but we'll just put it in just in case, because we're going to do all the blue ones here. And here, let's take that. We got it that time. And then all the greens. So we'll do this one. And this one here. And I think that's all we're going to do for right now. Well, remember, we didn't do the yellows, the purples. With the yellows and reds and oranges, we'll do brown with those. And we'll leave it for now, right, Dana? Dana, is that okay? Is that okay?
Okay.
Good. Micah's over here. He's going to make furniture. He's going to put mattresses. Actually, he's just going to make sheets for mattresses and things. So we're going to go and see what River has added to the new hotel. We have a new hotel, and the area that River is working on is a connection to the hotel. Now, she might have closed up the walls of where she's working, so we might have to rescue her anyway. There is a doorway that she could come out. Sure enough, she sure did. I had a feeling that she was going to do that. However, this is supposed to be a doorway right here, and sure enough, there it is. So this is the beginning of the cruise line area, and it still has a fair way to go, but it is a player house, so it's going to take a while, and she is working on this right now, and we're going to have her continue to work on it. I'm going to upgrade and have River build the building. And there we go. So now, I beg your pardon. Sorry, this is going to change into polished diorite. So all this diorite is going to change into polished. So we had an opening here, but I'm going to wait. This is the reason why we built this in this order, so that we would have this door connected to something, because I had a feeling that they were just going to close up the walls in this area. This will eventually be open, and this will be an entire opening right here. As soon as that area is a level 5. Look at you sitting here. That is so cool. I love it. This is one of the couriers. Yes, this is Keyshore, one of the couriers, and he's just hanging out for lunch. And when she gets it finished, she'll, and there's another. So these are couriers waiting to eat, and what's she making for them? Let me see. Let's look at the recipe. So she's serving ramen, spicy eggplant, and sushi.
And let's see what she has. Oh, she's also serving salmon, baked salmon, and tea. And she's got too many rices. So I'm going to take away one of them and take away that one. So she should have 3. Too many teas. Let's take that away. See, that person came and got their food. Those go together. Egg drop. That's small amounts. Let's go to the fridge and see. We just have rice put away. If I get too many of these, I'm going to actually take them back to the cook and let her make this into some food. But right now, we'll just hold on to them. And there she is. Yeah, she's missing a bunch of things, but this is breakfast. What is this? This is lunch. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So that means that they're having lunch right now. That is going to work, okay. There goes the courier, and Lionel is here.
So, what will it be for you?
Hi, how many more do you still need? Let me look here. Wait, that's not what I wanted to look at.
Great to see you.
I will work on it. Let me see. I'm going to cancel these. So this morning, he wanted more than that. So he is getting his pieces. It is just taking some time, but he actually is getting what he needs. Now the wet sponge is a problem. I might have to do that. But the prismarine bricks, they do know how to make those, and we should, for instance, I'm not sure that Spencer usually does concrete, but I can check and see if he does change prismarine shard into prismarine, and he does do that, but yeah, and he does. Okay, so he has the recipes for these. And does he have a recipe for... Yep, that's it. So he's either going to get the stone from the warehouse and make it direct, or he's going to wait. So he does have stone. He's got brick. He's got brick, and he's got brick. So this is all brick. It looks like he's making it. Look at how much of this he has. That looks like he's supposed to be making it, doesn't it? Yeah, that is interesting. Okay, we'll keep that in mind. Let's look at, there's workers coming down. Let's look down here and see, what? The kids aren't ready yet. Oh wait, we didn't look. Yes, we did. We did look. But I didn't look upstairs. I forgot about the upstairs to that building. So let me go in. The one that River's working on.
Thank you for this amazing colony.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Who was that? That was Lionel. Oh, Lionel, I thought you were a little disappointed that you haven't gotten the prismarine right away. That is interesting. Let's come here. Let's come through and go upstairs and see what the upstairs of this looks like. And this is the stairwell right here. And yeah, the proof that this is a player house is this bed here. This is going to go away, but I love the shields. I love that on there. It does look majestic. It definitely looks player-like for sure. But we're not going to need this in this area. This doorway here is going to open up and it's going to be connected to the hotel. And you'll see why I don't care about those aspects of the player home, because of things that are going to be right here. And that is going to be so fun. Yes, it is. It's going to be fun. So we did look, and I just wanted to check on that. We're here. What is our timing? Yeah, we have about a half hour. I don't know what I want to do with this, actually. This right here. I don't know what I want to do with this per desk. I really would like to prefer to have like a counter piece there. And if we had a counter, it would actually have to be one that didn't have any drawers. That would be like this right here. We could use that one with the black underneath. This one here with the dark oak underneath, the deep slate one. Those look hotel-like. I don't think the basalt stretched over ways. I don't think it's going to look good. This is dark concrete. And what's that? That's netherite. Yeah, nah. That's that's outrageous. Do we have these colors here? We'll look at the color and see if we want to do that. Anything else that we can see that might be interesting? No. All right, so let's start with this right here. These three, and let's see what we would like. So if we put it like this, it would have this look. This is Paladin. Let's look at this. Ah, that's wood like that. That's too rugged for here. Let's look at this. Oh, that's interesting, isn't it? That's very curious. It doesn't match anything in here, really. It's very, 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 well, that now makes me want to look at the, so, the dark oak we're not going to do. The calcite, let me see. Yeah, nah, I think the hospital is already using that, so we're not going to use that one either. Let's look at counters again, and let's see what we can find. Yeah, definitely, I believe that the farm clinic is using the calcite one. We can definitely use that, but I actually surprisingly really like that one. Let's look at the black stone just to see what it looks like. And I can't do netherite. That's just outrageously expensive, but look at the purple. We're using purple. Should I look at it? Okay, I'll look at it for a moment. They're using purple. So the netherite would look like that. No, that's not netherite. That's just deep slate. It's actually quite fascinating. It has the purple color in it, and that makes it interesting. How are they supposed to get into this office area? Hold on. Let's look here for a minute. There it is. That's what we're looking for. Okay. Ah. This is fascinating. So that's what the that looks like. Let's see this. Oh my gosh. Absolutely not. Whoa. That's intense under Chroma Hills. This is Chroma Hills versions of these, and I actually like that, but this is the best fit. This one right here works the best. And we'll put that there, and we'll bring it all the way up to here. Now, can we do this? I say we can. Yes! Yay! Yes! Da, 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 da. Excellent. Okay, so this is the new counter that we have here, and that means that we need to take this off. The door I'm okay with. What is this? This is netherite brick. I don't know. I don't necessarily. I would almost rather that we continued and put the drawers, the matching drawers to these counters. So this is blackstone. So let's go to blackstone for a minute. S-T-O-N-E. And let's see what we can find in the way of counters. They're the drawer pieces right here. And cabinet pieces, the doors are going to be down too far. Let's just try the drawers. And we're going to put them here. Is water going to come in? No! Yay! Okay. So let's put these right here. Let's bring the floor back in this area. Put that there. And yeah, this is good. Okay, and this is lovely. I'm leaving that. And now we still need the one piece here, which is deep slate, and it's just blackstone. It's just blackstone. So let's get blackstone. This is blackstone right here. Let's get architect CH, and here we have it. And let's get the matching trapdoor that we can put there to extend the counter right in this spot right here. So we put this here, and there it is. So that's how they get in, and we're good. Okay, and I'm okay with this. We can do, because we removed the directory piece and stuff, we can do something here with cooking for blockheads. Let's get the fruit basket. R-U-I. Why is U not there? U-I. Every once in a while when I come to the keyboard, it goes, oh, the last language you were in was Greek. So then it wants to give me Greek stuff. Let's get papers. So we want scrolls. So we can do one of each of these. These are all different kinds of scrolls. We can put these in. The other thing that we can use is something else. Paper. I suppose we could put some paper in. Let's see what the paper looks like if we put paper in. But why don't we just do the scrolls to start? So these are going to be like pamphlets of places and things that people can do, and tickets and advertisements and things that hotels usually have. And it looks like that. And there we are. So when they say, do you know where we could go to eat? And it's like, well, we have the restaurants, they have some listings right there. You can look at those and see we've got lovely restaurants in town, and you can pick one of those from there, and that's perfect. And we just heard, it's morning, 6:30. We just heard Zaria coming down. Zaria lives in the hotel. She's the only one who does. And that's because I don't have any housing for her. That's close enough. And I don't know that I ever will. There isn't any place to put any additional housing that will be close enough to the hotel itself without interfering with the submarine area. So we can't expand out. You can see that the building is coming out here. It's going to come out even farther in this direction, and so we need that to stay the way it is, and that's what we're going to look at for that. So there isn't any place here. This is the submarine bay for all the submarines. There they are. And we're going to make this into a window. We're not going to have submarines come up to here. We're just going to have this be a window right here. Is that a full block? It is. So I'll put that one in, and then we can just make that glass like this glass right here, because there's no question we're not having anything in this part right here. And this is one of the things. Can I get to it in time? I think I did. So yeah, we're not going to have one there. Technically, because of the closeness to here, I'm going to say no to this one. I mean, a scrub can actually come down. They're small enough to come down and land in front of this. But I think we're going to actually pull these and make these glass in here. This is a change I'm actually making. That we're not going to have these as places where submarines come to. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm not getting that. Oh, that's because there is glass there already. It's saying, but there isn't there. Now there is. Okay. So yeah. We thought we were going to put in a scrub station up here, but we don't really need them. The scrub would be up above the water line too, so we're going to keep them on the other side. And there's the one that's here, so there's going to be 4 at the warehouse alone, and there's a scrub entrance. And then the 5th one is picking up something from the stonemason right here, and then the 6th one is out here. I'm getting, can I go through, which is the fastest way? This is probably the fastest. The 6th one is over here at the fishery, so that would be all 6. That sounds like a decent amount. So half the people, so you have 10 people, so 6 of them are using submarines, and 3 of them are making local land, like, you know, walking stuff somewhere. And then the warehouse manager, that's the way I'm looking at it. Do we need another warehouse? I don't know. In all honesty, I actually don't know. This is an interesting kind of fishing that they do, where they get a double line, and I wonder how it's working. I wonder how that fishing is working. So when this platform is done here, it won't have a ship on it. There won't be a ship here because we have two. So the other ship is going to be somewhere else in the community to make it look like that they travel around, and that's what I would like. So yep, I'm holding glass and pieces, and no, I don't think that was the squid coughing. This is the warehouse. We can see it right there. I love that. And this is housing. This housing has actually been worked on. Look at that. There's furnishings in there. So we were talking about maybe doing some other furnishing stuff, and we could do that. And that would be fun. So how much time? We have about 10 minutes. What would you like to see? Let me get my, there we go. There's my eyes back. Ah, that Hallie was going to work on that farm area. And if we had another farmer, do we have anyone who's looking like a farmer? Stamina is the first thing. Michaela, whose mother is a bee farmer, she has, and Zane, whose parents are, and let me look, whose parents are Amanda, who's a blacksmith, and Leroy, who's the carpenter. And that's his parents. Fostered, he's fostered by his aunt. Amanda is actually his aunt. Michaela, of course, is actually Michaela's kid, and Lane, she actually has Lane's last name and her mother's first name, and she's got a brother, Leonard, who's a baker. So it's funny. So her brother's a baker, like the father, like Lane is, but she's going to be maybe a farmer because she has good numbers, but Zane also has. Let's put them down. Let's put Michaela down as the possible farmer. Let's look at the other numbers. Yeah, they're close. You see that Zane is better, right? Whoa, look at Gail. Now Gail's a kid. Gail is being raised. Hold on. Let me find the name. Do we have some people? Oh, down here. I knew there was something going on. Yeah, there's Gail. Gail's being raised by Bentley and Greta. And Gail, but it's a mismatch. Look at the athletics is down too low. And Greta, how is that? Oh, it's Greta, the composter. That's why it's like, wow, look at those numbers. That's because she's the composter. And Bentley is a farmer. And so that's why those numbers are big. So the only one really is Zane, who has the even number. So Zane is actually going to be a farmer. We're going to put possible farmer with his name. And is that Zane Atherton? It is, who is Yale's kid. And there's another thing again where I'm not sure. I think that Yale is not the father, but we could check and put possible farmer.
and we'll do that. Everly, who was raised with Zane, is a fisher. She became a fisher. Blood, who was raised with Zane, is actually a cook in the cookery. So she's a chef, actually. They're the ones that are chefs. The ones in the restaurants are called cooks. Don't ask me. So what can you call a restaurant owner? I don't know. So we'll do it like that. So she's a chef, and Leonard is a baker, and he is a baker already. And then we'll look for something else for his the kids he was fostered with to do. But yeah, so all we're waiting for now in regards to Zane is he is graduated. Whoa. So he can actually start being a farmer right away. All right, let's do something for a second. Let's come over here and let me go look and see if we have a farm. I don't think we have a farm yet. This is actually the wheat farm where we started growing some garlic because garlic was becoming crucial. And upstairs we're still growing wheat. I think, are we growing wheat upstairs here? Because if we are, yep, I'm going to change this to garlic. We need that much wheat, but I'm going to change this to garlic because we need that much garlic. So we're going to come up here and have him change this. So pick the seed, and we'll do garlic and select, and there it is. Okay. Now let me make sure that someone's working this field for a minute because some of these fields are resting. So let's look here. Nobody's working because Bentley is raising kids. So he's not here right now. But she could do it. Nola could do it. And we could have Nola work on it. Did it change the field? Yeah, it did because all 4 of these fields were garlic. So let's come over here and see how many fields Nola has. And we'll look here. She's only got the 2, and one of them's garlic. So we'll give her the second garlic field. And that will solve that. So she's got garlic and eggplant. Cabbage is what we grow because we use cabbage to trade for tomatoes, rice, chickpeas, nether peppers, and regular peppers. We cannot grow any of those. So in order to have them, we do that. We also could grow sweet berries. We're not growing them here. We're going to import them, and we're going to pay for it with cabbage and squash, which cannot be grown in the areas that grow rice, tomatoes, peppers. They can't be grown there. And chickpeas, so that's what we trade. That's our trade. And right now we're just doing it as a Dungeon and Dragon story. We don't have actual trade yet, but it is anticipated that Minecolonies intends for there to be that kind of relationship for people trading materials between cities. And when we do our next city, we're actually going to be on a server, and we'll be able to have 2 cities. When we had Prasino and when we had Rosa Oru, they were on 2 different continents. When we had Emni Island and when we had, because they were separate entities to keep the the lag down. But that was 19 and 20, and this is 21. So we're ready to go to a server and do that. So that is what we're looking at right now. Hold on for a second. That was a notification of something. What notification? Doggus. So if you have a Twitch account, House of Doggus is about to start streaming. I have about 5 minutes left of this stream. For those of you who watch on Twitch and on YouTube, thank you very much. Thank you. I really appreciate it, and I'm so glad you're enjoying watching me play this peaceful druid sanctuary here. It's been really fun, and I'm having a good time, and we're going to have festival. We're going to have a holiday this coming weekend, and that means that all the people will have off except restaurant workers and store owners. Shop owners won't have off. The workshops will be off, but the shops will be open because this is a holiday. So in the last 4 minutes, I just realized something. In that clothing store that we have in the hotel, do we have anyone who could take over that clothing store for us before the holidays? Because people are going to want lots of clothing. We change what they're wearing, and we're going to decide whether we're going to have them wear nether or whether we're going to have them wear what's the other one? It's either nether or something. I forgot now. I'll have to check and see. But when they wear those clothes, they're very dressy. And so that's why we always change into those clothing styles for holidays. So we're going to take a minute and look and see. Bentley is the farmer and Greta is the composter. So they're out of the running. So we're looking for the kids to have something. Annabella is looking good. Avery. Now that's interesting. Avery actually looks really nice. I know that the dexterity is up 1. Adaptability, agility, adaptability, nope. And because we still need a courier as well. Khalid is not thinking about it. Michaela could do this, especially if Zane does the other. Wouldn't that be interesting? Michaela deciding that she was going to sew and do clothing. It's a 10 and a 13. It's good. So we'll put her down. How close is she to... No, wait. Hold on, because is this Mama or has she already graduated? Hold on for a second. Let's look at the people page. She has graduated. Wow. She actually has, and she could take this right now. Let me just look. That's all the students. And let's have Michaela do this. I have 1 minute left. That way we will have someone running this clothing store right here, and she's going to have to live in the hotel along with Zaria, because we don't have any housing nearby that she can live at. So how many are here? Just her right now, and now Michaela is going to be assigned here,
And that way she's close to her job. Both of them live in the hotel. And we'll continue from there. Why are you asking me this? Okay, and that's it, people. I think that we're in the art gallery in the hotel upstairs, art gallery, and we're going to say goodbye from here. Thank you. That was 3 hours. That was 3 hours, and we've got lots of things done, and we're actually ready to do the holiday. So we'll start having people get off from work coming up on Thursday. It usually takes like a day and a half to get everyone to not be working and to see them walking around and having fun. So yeah, so it's going to be fun. So here we go. Bye for now, everyone. We've been listening to Drone Hands music in the background, and we're going to listen to Vincentius Primus. Now, the Vincentius Primus wrote this piece, but the project is Excitable Me, and excitableme.com is where you can find the entire song that that we're only hearing a portion of on Bandcamp, and you can also find it you can also find it on bandcamp.com. Excitable Me, which is Vincentius Primus. So enjoy. Here we go. Bye for now, everyone. Bye for now.